Okay, here we go. Phil Brown, a comprehensive victory this afternoon. You must be delighted.
I am very. I think the sacrifice that professional footballers give or do over the Christmas period, over the family period, the festive period is sometimes, it's an unreasonable ask for to, bring them in on Christmas Day and stuff like that. We don't do that. I've never done that since the days back as a coach at Blackpool. And the reason why you don't is because time with your families is as important as what time on the training ground is. We did our work on Christmas Eve, and the players, I've got to take my hat off to. They listen to everything we say, they take on board everything we say. The tactic was to play in a certain manner against the Hereford team, which we thought would play a 4-2-3-1, and it eventually became a 4-3-3, so there was a little change in midfield. But we got to grip with that in the first 5-10 minutes, and because of that, consequently, Hereford changed their system. They went 3-5-2. When you come to places like this and it's a full house today, and you get the home side changing their system, it's normally a sign that you're doing something right, and I think we were. I think the front three is a formidable front three at the moment, and for keep Maz Kuya sitting on the bench, it's a remarkable achievement, because Maz was one of our better players in the first 10, 15, 20 games. But again, Topi coming back to his old stomping ground, as it were, and should have had a goal in the first half, then got a goal in the second half, and it got a bit of a breathing space when it went to 2. But you can never take your foot off the gas. You've got to keep your foot on the gas, especially at places like Hereford, who are potent. They've got players with ability, and we dealt with that.
3 absolutely stunning goals as well from Harriers. You can't plan that on a training ground, can you?
No, you're looking for quality in the final third, and I think that it's readily available on the training ground, but to carry it across that white line is the hard part of the game. If you can do that on a regular basis, you wouldn't probably be playing at this level. But the 3 goals were just different class. I mean, Brownie's reminded me of Ronnie Radford back in '72 when it clipped the underside of the crossbar, and it was a great goal. I don't know if that was the goal. And Brownie off and running. I said to the players beforehand, the last time I was here, Edgar Road, none of them were born, which is quite funny. It's quite ironic. So none of them are born, and they're probably wondering what I'm talking about. But this is where you learn your trade as a player, as a coach, as a manager. And when I mentioned Ronnie Radford to Brownie, no idea. But then the second goal by Topi was a clinical finish from a lad who should have scored in the first half, as I've said. And then Amari, my word, captain, sensible, shall we call him at the moment, because he's playing with an injury, and he's running around like a man possessed, and for him to get that goal, and it was just reward for his contribution today. I thought he was tireless in his performance, and they are the kind of performances you need at this level, probably every level, if truth be known. If you're in the Premier League and you've got a striker working like Amari, you're going to put defenders under pressure. If I asked Matty Preston, we ever had time for a breather, which I know Matty quite well, did he ever have time for a breather? And he would probably say no, right until the 93rd, 94th, 96th minute. Amari was still going. So great performance from a side at the moment on the up, but we've got to make sure that we keep our feet on the ground and control the emotions into the next game.
You got 700 fans here today. They'll look at the table as things currently stand, and I know we were the early kick-off, but Harriers have gone top tonight.
Yeah, a challenge, if you like, is to be the number 1 in this division, because that's the one that gets automatic promotion, and you save a lot of hassle or work at the end of the season, or nerves, shall we say. But it's just a building block process, You get top in Christmas or Boxing Day, you don't win anything, You've got to make sure that you're maintaining your level of form. And our level of form and consistency is something to be admired. But we'll come across roadblocks, we'll come across stumbling blocks, we'll come across moments where we're not in control of games, and teams are scoring goals against us. At the moment, we've got a clean sheet mentality that's to be admired. And it's not just the goalkeeper. I think the back 3 becomes a back 5 when Joe Fawkes and Caleb Richards took in. And it's you've got to break us down, and if you can't break us down with your quality, then you've got to break us down with your physicality. And I think Hereford tried both ways and did manage it. The manager will probably be frustrated at that, but I've got to take my hat off to my defenders.
And it was a bruising old game, as these derbies tend to be. Have you come out of this unscathed? Have you got any extra issues looking ahead to to the next match, which is obviously New Year's Day now, isn't it?
No extra issues. I think when you win games, you come to this place and you go away with a clean sheet and then 3 goals and the 3 points in the early kick-off. Like you say, you're putting a statement down, or you're putting a marker down. Markers, what are markers? You know, they're words of intention, they're actions of intention to the opposition and in the 90 minutes of the game, but to the rest of the outside world, the football league that we're playing in, they're looking at that going, wow, 3-0 at Hereford away. It's a good result, but it's on the back burner now, and we've got to go forward with a nasty little encounter on New Year's Day against a side that might not be in good form, but any team in this division will put a spanner in your works.
And you mentioned Rushall Olympic. Obviously, they've got some former Harriers players in there, so it's always going to be a tasty affair, isn't it?
Same as this one today.
Yep.
You know, 3 or 4 players out there that we work with. Me, I'm not even a year at the football club, and I've worked with 3 or 4 of them. So they had reasons to perform today, but we nullified them reasons, not individually, just collectively. I thought the collective mentality of the group was brilliant, and like you say. The same will apply in the next game, but we've just got to make sure that we focus on what we're doing, focus on what we're trying to achieve at this football club, and making sure that we treat the players well enough and right enough between now and New Year's Day, and we don't lose the plot and go out on the drink or anything daft like that. We've got to make sure we celebrate at the end of the season and not now.
Phil, congratulations, clinical performance this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you very much.